Hey everybody, TacticAngel here, back on the PlayStation 4, playing some World of Warships Legends. We're going to do a replay, we're going to be on Atlantic. I will be in a Richelieu, and as you can see, I am in a division with JC. And whoa, we cut straight to JC. The miracle of editing. Yeah, JC is in this game. Here you can see his commander up on the screen, along with his loadout and all that good stuff. He's going to go ahead and move out towards C. As for me, I'm thinking I want to go C, back him up. I'm going to throw that commander up on the screen. This is what I've got in my Richelieu, so when you see the shells flying in extraordinarily random directions, this is why. And wouldn't you know it, both JC and I were looking at the map at exactly the same time. You can see him moving up towards C again. Another almost seamless edit. Seamless. That one not so much. In any case, as I'm moving up towards C, I start to see things that are going to have a pretty good broadside angle on me. So I'm actually thinking I'm not going to make it. I'm going to start engaging this Vanguard because he is at an optimal distance for plunging fire. And I do know that it is possible to Citadel that ship still. We managed to land only 1 of 8 shells, and it was the 1 shell that really mattered. This kind of leaves JC all by his lonesome, but it's a Yamato sailing into a corner with a DD. He has to know JC is there. You can see him capping the base right now. Follow those in with the shell follow view. That's preset 2. And here you can see JC's right in the middle of that capture zone. Launches some torps that way, and there you can see them coming in from the right hand corner of the screen. This Gneisenau unfortunately got fail platooned up. We also have a Gneisenau that got fail platooned up into a tier 7. I'm not thinking he's going full speed, so I leave that one a little short. There you can kind of see the end result of that. Those torpedoes continue to look good. Only 1 hit, but JC does cause some flooding, which is often very, very useful. Definitely in a boat like the Lightning, because you get a lot of extra fires on this because of the relatively high fire chance. Now, in a second, you're going to see something that happens from JC's point of view that might not make a lot of sense. That is because I am moving into the middle of the map. This is a questionable move, but when it's only 5v5, then, you know, you might as well take some chances. And actually, in terms of the weekend sprint, this is actually the worst matchmaking we received. That being 5v5. Most of our games were 6v6, and we actually had a couple of 7v7s, and even just straight up tier 7 games. Now that Vanguard did go unspotted for just a second. JC continues to pound away at it with HE. Here you see him switching over to AP. AP from the Lightning still going to be effective if he hits superstructure, and you can see he's aiming plenty high there. And you know, getting some decent couple thousand damage each salvo. And there it goes. I actually managed to sneak a shell over the island here. I think JC had given me permission, for the record, to do that because, of course, it was going to take a little while for him to chip him down still. Probably another 2 or 3 salvos. Best not take the damage. I'm sure he'll kill other players. We continue to suffer for our choices, but I wanted to just show you this because essentially what I'm doing is trying to angle myself against 3 separate targets, using the islands to keep people from being able to really see me. Because obviously that Yamato has range on me, but I'm trying to keep that island in the way. Meanwhile, JC is trying to take advantage of him because he's an unsupported battleship in open water. Unfortunately, it looks like the Yamato is at least keen to the fact that there is probably a destroyer over here somewhere. So he throws it into Iowa, so he's backing up, and he's gonna miss most of those. But he has already burnt a damage con, and now he has sustained a torpedo hit, which includes flooding. Elsewhere, I am continuing to suffer from my bad decisions. I'm trying to make the most out of these bad decisions, keeping myself carefully rocking back and forth so that the islands on my right shield me from the Yamato as much as possible. I'm coming into view, which isn't great, and shield me on the left from that Amagi. We're starting to feel the heat, though. Obviously, these French ships often have gun turret issues, particularly since you end up bow tanking a lot, and that invites a lot of shots into your turrets. I will note that since we last saw JC, he has accumulated a massive amount of damage. Reason for that is because with the fire and with the flooding, he's getting like 2,000 damage every couple seconds. And though we didn't leave him for all that long, the Yamato, if not played carefully, is an HP pinata, an XP pinata, however you want to look at it. Now that Bismarck is charging in on me. Just to remind you, I was shooting HE at it, and I have set several fires. JC has his torpedoes coming in. I am surprised that this guy is probably not running ciliacs, because he is sustaining 3 and can sustain a 4th fire. I was hoping to get that last shot in on the stern of his ship. Here you can see JC's torpedoes coming into frame. Meanwhile, at exactly the same moment, he's picking on another battleship. One of our teammates manages to finish off Bismarck. Yamato gets gunned down by a destroyer. Now, in this section of the game, essentially, JC and I don't always exhibit great teamwork with one another. Vague teamwork is probably the best way to look at it. One of the things we will do, and this is kind of entry level, how do you want to play in a division with other people? If you're shooting HE and you see an enemy ship, you set it on fire and it immediately loses its fire. You know that the damage con has been used, and it's a good idea just to announce that, because that's going to help your teammates farm a lot of damage. Now you see, I've farmed just enough damage with that last shot to actually get a high caliber myself. Unfortunately, I am in the midst of a dilemma. Do I put the fire out early and die because he sets me on fire again? Do I not put the fire out and take the HE death? I mean, you saw how that worked out. We finally see JC's torpedoes hit the front of that Amagi. At this point, there's nothing really to be afraid of. That Amagi is probably not going to be able to gun down a destroyer at that range. He gets a big hit from the last remaining battleship on our team, and we win the game. Now, there you see the statistics from JC's point of view. Obviously, he had a very good game, and there you can see him on the top of the charts. Then, right below that, me, I want to say playing bad decisions as well as I possibly could, using islands effectively to kind of mitigate the bad decisions I made. And then you see here, this is what I did. In terms of the weekend sprint, I would encourage people to go out there and actually play tier 7 games. It's actually not as bad as it looks, unless you play it like weird times probably, because I'm sure if you're out in Australia, there are times a day that you're more likely to get thrown into a bad game than we were. Like I said, this is the worst matchmaking we saw, and we saw at least as many games where it was a full tier 7 game with no Yamatos as this, and the rest had 6 or 7 ships against 6 or 7 ships. So not all that unbalanced. In this case, they just got unlucky without getting a destroyer. Obviously, if you want to still try to earn your Sakura coins, your best bet this weekend is still maybe to go into an AI game, because all you're trying to do is get damage. Just remember, those bots play weird, not necessarily intelligently, and they will try to ram you. So anyway, this was kind of fun editing these two videos together. I hope you have also enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one.